Hi, it's me, Tukru, and welcome to my channel. Oh, this feels so awkward. Ah, really something to get used to. But yeah, I don't know. I had like a script sort of written down on some post-it notes, but it's just impossible to follow. But basically, the gist of this video is I started making lockdown vlogs again because I just enjoyed it, and I feel like it's kind of important keeping a log of what you're doing, especially at times like this or whatever. Also, it gives me something to do. I stopped after like 7 days of doing it every day because it felt like no one was watching them, and what was the point? Whatever. But I mean, does it really matter if I'm doing this for myself? It does a bit, but also I spoke to a friend of mine and they were like, I really enjoyed them, and they also gave me some nice feedback, compliments. Give them to me, please. I love those things. It really helps me motivate to do things. And yeah, so I'm back here again. But I felt like I should have like sort of like what is it called? What did I write on my notes? Right. Oh, I thought I should provide some context in case you don't already know me from somewhere else. So, who am I? So yeah, I'm Tukru. I'm 36 years old. No, I'm 37 years old. Why don't I know this? It's actually only about a month, less than a month until my 38th birthday. Fucking hell. And I'm from Finland, born and raised, but I've been living in a small town called Chatham in Kent, southeast England, UK, since 2003, which makes this year 17 years. That's a long time. And I live with my partner, who's just there playing Bioshock and making this extra awkward, even though he's not paying attention to me, but I can see him. And we've been together for. Okay, don't look at me like that. Jesus Christ, you did that on purpose. But yeah, we've been together. Oh God, I need my notes again for maths. Shit. Is it 15 years? 15 and a half years. Carl, I know when it was, I just can't do math. And we live in a little council flat. Yeah, that's the basics. And lockdown context, I'm unemployed. I actually lost my job about just under a month before UK went into lockdown. I was made redundant from my work from home job. So I'd known about that since end of January. It happened end of February, and now I'm on job seekers allowance. And my partner still has a job, but he's been furloughed because the shop the shop he manages is not essential. So here we are. He's still getting paid, but he's only getting paid 80% because he's been furloughed. Did I mention that already? I don't know. So yeah, that's that money's enough for us to survive. Because this is a council flat, so the rent's pretty cheap, and we're not going anywhere, so we're doing okay. We're not leaving the house, other than for essentials, obviously, which tends to be about once a week, sometimes twice, or like 1.5. We live about 15 minutes from one proper high street, which only has like a small Sainsbury's, and then 25 minutes from another high street that has a good Aldi. So, and neither of us drives, we don't have a car, so that kind of limits our choices. But that's nothing new because it's always limited our choices. We used to do our food shop online usually, but it's really hard to get an appointment at the moment. Not an appointment, delivery slot. What else? That's the basics. Then some extra things. I'm non-binary, queer. He's cis, straight. I make zines. I run a zine distro called Vampire Hag Distro. This is our stuff. I also draw, and I've started sewing. Cole plays a lot of video games. I think that's really everything you need to know. And I like spooky shit, and I have cats on my titties. A bit of a brush off. So I guess I'll go and edit this and post it, and then I can post a video I finished editing last night. And if you like my videos or whatever, maybe push that like button, because for bigger YouTubers it doesn't really matter, because they get loads of likes anyway. But I'm really tiny and I have a tiny self-esteem, so if you like it, it makes me feel nice, and it makes me feel like maybe there's a point in you doing this. Comments are also nice. Subscribe, all that jazz. Feels really awkward saying all of that, but I suppose I should. And if I keep doing this, I should get used to it too. So, goodbye!